Hi Cancer, happy birthday. I hope you have, if you've already had your birthday, happy belated birthday, or if it's today or coming up, happy birthday. I hope this is your best year yet. Um, so this is going to be a general reading. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. I've pulled 10 cards for a Celtic cross spread. I just put it in 2 rows, but it's a Celtic cross spread. I pulled an overall energy card. You got the Wheel of Fortune reversed, your animal spirit card. You got the bear card. Um, the when I was pulling the cards, yellow is really prominent in your reading right now. So Google what the color yellow reads. It's very good. Friendship, sunshine, success, positivity, health. You got yellow in your animal spirit card on the bear, top of the bear there. So there's a lot of yellow I noticed when I was pulling your cards. So I'll set up my camera here so you can see. I'm gonna just move this card over here for a second. Your first card that came out is the Emperor. This card represents your current situation. This is a major arcana. This is Aries energy. So your first card represents your current situation. So this card is all about structure, stability, protection. The Emperor stands for authority, control, focus, discipline. It could represent an older man in your life. It could represent fatherhood. The Emperor is a card of dependability. He's logical, practical. He could represent a father figure in your life, here or passed on. Okay. Practical. He makes decisions. He takes action. Very disciplined. He could represent the establishment. This card is about being in control. Spirit is saying that you are, or you should be, in charge of your life, your environment, your body, your temper, your actions. You alone, Cancer, should be in charge of your life at this time. When this card shows up in a reading, it's giving you permission to be assertive, brave, and bold. If you've already built a solid foundation, then this card indicates that your goals will be realized. Or this card could represent a leader that you admire and want to follow. When the Emperor shows up in a reading, he's telling you to make empowered choices. Male or female, you're adopting this fatherly role, okay? Providing for your family, protecting and defending your loved ones. The Emperor represents a powerful leader who demands respect and authority. Status, power, and recognition are essential to you, and you are most comfortable in a leadership role where you can command and direct others. You create law and order by applying principles or guidelines to a specific situation. Spirit is saying, be systematic, strategic, and highly organized in your approach. And make sure you stick to your plans until the end. Through the course of your life, you have gained valuable wisdom and life experience. Now you enjoy offering guidance, advice, and direction to someone or others who might benefit from it. You may be a teacher, Cancer, a coach, a boss, or just a really good friend who likes to take what you have learned and then pass it on to others. Okay. There could be issues related to authority when the Emperor shows up in a reading. The Emperor teaches us the meaning of power and how to use it in this world. He does tell us that it is necessary sometimes to take up arms against evil forces. As a protective male force, especially of the home and of domestic harmony, he personifies the ideal that what is worth having is worth fighting for. There may be issues concerning your biological father or authority figures in general. The time has arrived for you to become the authority figure in your life rather than depending on others to provide protection. You may be struggling to achieve independence, become your own person, and reconcile father issues. So there may be some issues with regards to your own father when the Emperor shows up in a reading. He may have passed recently, your father. If that resonates, I'm sending you a big hug. If you've asked for a sign that a father figure come through in your reading, this is the sign. Your father is with you. The Emperor could also bring up feelings of being abandoned by a protective father. Maybe someone in your life is acting as a father figure, like a boss or a husband. You may be established. You may be involved with the established order or with someone who represents the establishment. You may have a need to identify with a powerful group and to be one of them, or you may be associating with someone else who has this need. It could be, this powerful group could be religious, ideological, intellectual, economic, or even political. And then what's crossing you or what's challenging you or your situation, or it could be what you're celebrating, is the Queen of Wands. And she came out reversed. Male or female in a general reading. The Queen of Wands is Aries energy again. So more Aries energy coming through your reading. The Queen of Wands can represent someone given to melodrama or someone who can be very bossy or controlling. Okay, that's similar a little bit. They're talking about, how I already mentioned, you should be in control of your body, your life, your temper. So maybe you're having to deal with this person. The Queen of Wands is someone who is selfish, jealous, insecure, demanding, vengeful, a bully, very manipulative. She is telling you, Cancer, make sure you have a lot of self-respect and self-confidence at this time. She represents, she's telling you to reestablish your sense of self. It's really, really important. The Queen of Wands is someone who has low self-esteem, low self-belief, someone who's overwhelmed, introverted, exhausted, burnt out. She may have fertility issues, pushy, demanding, overbearing, self-righteous, a busybody, unfriendly, catty, malicious, deceitful, unfaithful. She's a troublemaker. She can be a liar. So, yeah, you might be having to deal with this person. You've reached a place of self-respect and confidence. You know yourself on a deep level, and you are clear on your personal truth and belief systems. You know what you stand for and are not easily moved by the opinions of others. You may be more introverted than usual. You may also feel called to spend more time alone so you can connect with your inner self and hear your inner voice. If you lack confidence, bring your energy and attention inward and focus on rebuilding your sense of self and your resilience. You may have handed your power over to others by paying too much attention to their thoughts and opinions. I feel really drawn to that message, so I'm just making a note of that. Okay. You with the Emperor, with all the messages we've had already. You may have handed your power over to others by paying too much attention to their thoughts and opinions. You need to bring your awareness inward so that you can hear yourself and access your personal strengths and talents. Be courageous in expressing you in everything you do. Okay? The Queen of Wands reverse can represent a powerful woman or man in a general reading who demands control over your affairs in return for her advice, support, and or financial assistance. She wants to control social situations for her own advantage. She could be a warning to be careful in any business deals with men or women. She also advises you to avoid offending socially powerful people and to be aware of deception, greed, and jealousy. Okay, and then your third card is the Knight of Wands. Reversed, this card represents the basis of your situation or foundation. The Knight of Wands is Sagittarius energy. This is either you or someone in your life, or he could represent a situation. He's telling you to make decisions without pressure. Okay, and I just want to, you have the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands. They could be two people in your life, like that you're related to. It could be you or someone that you're related to. Take it how it resonates. So the Knight of Wands reversed, there's a lack of self-control here. There's a lack of self-discipline, a lack of enthusiasm, a lack of ambition, a lack of purpose. The Knight of Wands reversed energy is scattered. They're domineering, jealous, overly competitive, arrogant, reckless, impulsive, abusive, impatient, can be overly confident, a show-off, someone who's extremely aggressive. This represents someone prone to making foolish choices, someone who thinks only of themselves, or someone who always has to be the center of attention. You are actively pursuing a personal passion, project, or hobby. A fire has been lit within you, and now you're doing everything to move forward. You have no intention of turning it into a raging success. It is simply for you to enjoy and channel your energy into. could, for example, tarot cards. You're experiencing a considerable amount of built-up energy, but are unsure about how to channel it into the world. You need to release this creative energy. Look at alternative ways to pursue your passion or manifest your vision. You may need to adjust your path, but stay true to your original idea. You may be acting impulsively, trying to accomplish everything at once. Just slow down and know that you don't need to do everything at once. Be careful not to burn out too. You want everything to be fixed straight away. Remind yourself that there are things that you can and maybe can't control. Control is like every single message is about control here. I'm making a note of it. I think it's really important. So give yourself some space and time is the message with this card. The Knight of Wands reversed says that there's going to be a delay in a message or paperwork that you've been expecting. So a trip may be canceled because of bad weather. An engagement or a wedding may be postponed or even broken off. And the Knight of Wands reverse could also represent a separation from people, places, or situations. And then your fourth card is the King of Swords. This card represents your past, but is relevant to your current situation. This can be, again, a male or female in a general reading. It's either you, someone in your life, or he can represent a situation. Aquarius energy. So the King of Swords reversed, manipulative, irrational, oppressive, aggressive. He could represent an absent father. So this, again, with the bringing up the message earlier, he's very judgmental. There's a lack of routine, a lack of structure. You know, the Emperor represented structure. The King of Swords could also be someone who has a lot of inner power, quiet power. But the King of Swords can be someone, again, who is misguided. He could represent someone who's cruel. There's a lack of integrity, a lack of morals, a lack of discipline, inhumane, intimidating. This king may use his or her impressive abilities to further their own agenda with no respect for ethics, standards, or ideals. He can be ridiculously judgmental and hold people in contempt if they don't behave or think as he deems appropriate or right. This king could also represent delaying decisions, someone who is misguided. He represents quiet power. Cancer, your power and authority comes from within, from your unwavering belief in yourself, your deep connection to your values, and your commitment to stand firm in your truth. You don't allow others to steer you off course, instead preferring to draw your energy from your higher self and connect with what truly matters to you. Sometimes this King of Swords reversed can allude to a misuse of power. You may be using your ability to manipulate or persuade others to fulfill your personal needs, or you may be using your advanced intellect to make others feel inferior or disadvantaged. The reverse King of Swords is someone who is very intelligent and has only his personal interests in mind. Be careful. If this is someone you're dealing with, Cancer, he might take advantage of you. A lack of decisiveness about where your best opportunities lie or what direction you want to go could be represented by the King of Swords reversed. You may be feeling lost or uncertain about your options. This king indicates fickleness, using words as swords to wound, gossiping, superficiality, playing one person against the other, or a rigidity of opinions. He can represent a situation in which the people around you are hostile toward your ideas or your spiritual quest, and you may have to keep these matters to yourself. Remember this message when I get to the bear message, okay? Your animal spirit card. Talks about a spiritual quest. And then your immediate future, what's likely to happen very soon in your life. You got the Lover's card. This is a major arcana. This card is represented by Gemini in astrology. So your immediate future. Trust your knowing and make a commitment. The Lover's card is all about love, unions, power, love, unions, partnerships, relationships. It's a card of choices, desire, romance, balance, harmony, having your values in alignment, shared values, having to make major choices. It's a card of temptation, kindred spirits, soulmates. So the Lover's card is about, it says that a choice is about to be made very, very soon. You're going to have to make a choice about something very soon because this is your immediate future card. Okay? Trust your knowing and make the commitment. More importantly, it represents different ways of making decisions. When this card comes up in a reading, you're being asked to consider carefully how you make the important decision before you. Do you follow your heart? Do you do what makes sense? This card suggests that there's a way to marry the head and the heart so that a wise, balanced decision can be made. This card represents conscious connections, meaningful relationships. You have a beautiful soul-honoring connection with a loved one. You may believe you have found your soulmate or life partner, and the sexual energy between you two goes way beyond instant gratification and lust to something that is very spiritual and almost tantric. This card could refer to a romantic relationship, a close friendship, or a family relationship where love, respect, and compassion flow. The Lover's is a card of open communication and raw honesty. You are both willing to be in your most vulnerable state. Open your hearts to one another. Share your truest feelings. You're figuring out what you stand for. deciding what is essential to you. Make choices for yourself, Cancer. Stay true to who you are. The choice about who you want to be. You need to be clear about your personal beliefs and values and stay true to them. You may be facing a moral dilemma and must consider all of the consequences before acting. This card represents a romantic love, but it's also a statement about a union of opposites, whether it's between two people or within ourselves. This card refers to the thoughtfulness in making choices. We all have opposing traits and inner dichotomies that need to be reconciled. Partners often experience conflict that requires making choices. This card appears when there's a need to heal a rift. It usually refers to a romantic involvement, but it most often turns up when a critical life decision must be made in connection with a love relationship. You may be at a crossroads at this time in your life. You have to consider all of the ramifications of the situation and choose carefully to further your own development and to accommodate the needs of others in the situation. This is a card of cooperation, working together with others to accomplish joint purposes. It stands for attraction of any kind, not only the romantic variety, and for any venture requiring harmony, union, and cooperation. A choice between two factors of equal worth may be required, but the choice you make will be the right one. Two or more forces or people may have come together in your life in pursuit of a common goal. This may be a temporary conjunction for some specific purpose, or it might be a long-term relationship. And then the outcome that you desire most in your situation is the King of Cups reversed. This can be, again, you, someone in your life, or a situation, male or female. This is the outcome that you desire most in your situation. This is Scorpio. The King of Cups reversed can mistreat his family members in the name of love. He can deny problems or issues rather than address them. He may be prone to overindulging in his habits, good or bad. The King of Cups reverse is anxious. He represents coldness, moodiness. He's overwhelmed. He's withdrawn. He's manipulative, selfish, ruthless, violent, controlling, depressed, gullible, unkind, overly emotional, an emotionally immature male, a cheater, a con man. It's a card of melancholy, feeling sadness with no cause. He could represent an affair with a married man. He's telling you to really focus on, check in with your inner feelings. Have self-compassion for yourself. You're focusing your attention on your innermost feelings. You're discovering the emotions stored in your subconscious mind and how these emotions affect you. You hope to gain a stronger sense of control over your emotional well-being so that your feelings don't steer you away from living your best life. There we're talking about the control again. big, big message here with regards to control in your reading. Yeah. You hope to gain a stronger sense of control over your emotional well-being so that your feelings don't steer you away from living your best life. You may be prone to emotional upset and drama. Others may trigger you or push your buttons. You may feel moody, depressed, anxious, and unpredictable. You may also lack in self-compassion, beating yourself up over small things that have gone wrong. If this resonates, seek to understand the root cause of your emotions and bring your conscious awareness to the impact they are having on your life. Pay attention to your emotional balance and find your place of calm and compassion. Other people may trigger this emotional response in you, but it's up to you to stay in control, Cancer. Some of you may be repressing your emotions and withdrawing from the outside world because you fear what may happen if you were to confront your feelings head on. Your feelings are bottling up inside you, and you are at risk of an emotional outburst if the pressure gets too much. If this resonates, consider finding a therapist to help you work through this. The King of Cups reverse can represent someone who is vindictive and emotionally manipulative. He uses emotional blackmail to get his way and to push his personal agenda. He leaves you feeling uncertain about yourself and as if you are the problem, not him. This only leads to undeserved emotional instability within you. If this sounds like someone you have met in the past, you still have work to do in releasing yourself from his or her controlling forces. So that's something major I would definitely make a note of for sure, that coming up again. If this King of Cups is someone that you've had to deal with in your past, your involvement in a relationship involving love is ending, but the process should not cause much pain. It's time to move away from dependency on an older person. Okay, so I think this is a big message too. I would definitely make a note of this because this all resonates with your reading so far. It's time to move away from dependency on an older person, perhaps your father or a father figure or a mentor or a teacher, and strike out on your own. Whether the circumstances are related to a person or to your own inner psychic process, the result is the same. This king may be someone trying to get rid of you for some reason, romantic or otherwise. If this resonates, Spirit is saying you need to let go and, if necessary, mourn the passing of something that was good once, but is now over. Okay? And then your self-image card, how you see yourself, is the Two of Wands. Focus on what you want, Cancer, and make it happen. Again, Aries energy is coming up in your reading. You're planning for the future. You're making decisions. You're leaving home. You're taking first steps. You're taking risks. You're making progress. You're looking at your options. You're deciding if you should stay or go. This is a card of resting after working hard. It's telling you to have patience, have trust. It's a card of anticipation, restlessness, withdrawal again, detachment again, leaving something comfortable, leaving home. So this card could suggest the need to choose, like the Lover's card was talking about, the need to choose between two ventures. Either option requires your full passion and attention. Now's not the time to split your focus or your energy. Although both choices are appealing, go with your instincts, Spirit is saying, and you will make the right choice. Okay? The world is literally in your hands if you can expand your horizons. While you are contemplating significant opportunities, you have not yet left your comfort zone to pursue them. You're still in the planning phase. You are still not ready to venture out. You have a good chance for success so long as you can overcome the challenges that will arise. This card represents decisions of some sort. Again, decisions, choices. Spirit is saying step out and explore your options. Okay? The Two of Wands is an ambiguous card. It shows that a second, perhaps unexpected factor is entering into the situation at hand. There's an element of surprise. A choice must be made. It could be related to your work, a situation, a relationship, a creative endeavor. You're saying yes to a new enterprise with the expectation that you will achieve ownership, wealth, and good fortune. You've started something and are awaiting results, but you may have to deal with some unforeseen problems or encounter unexpected obstacles and opposition. For example, a bank loan not coming through, a partner taking off, or a loss of support that you were counting on. And sometimes this card could indicate a need to alter your course. And then your environment, or how others see you in your situation, you have the Eight of Swords. Release yourself from any self-inflicted binds is the message with this card. Gemini energy. Spirit is saying release yourself from self-inflicted binds. It could be the way you talk to yourself. It could be people, places, things, situations. It could be anything. It's negative thoughts. It's victim mentality. It's self-imposed restriction. It's being silenced. It's entrapment, imprisonment, restricted, victimized, paralyzed by fear, feeling powerless, helpless. It's a card of ignorance, mistrust, anxiety, isolation from others, hopelessness. You feel helpless, problems surround you, you feel trapped, and that no matter where you look, danger, obstacles, and problems confront you. And although the situation probably is as bad as you think, Spirit is saying escape is possible. You're not stuck there, okay? You feel trapped, restricted by your circumstances. You believe your options are limited with no clear path out. You might be in an unfulfilling job, an abusive relationship, a significant amount of debt, or a situation way out of alignment with your inner being. Spirit already talked about that, inner alignment, having your values aligned. So I would make a note of that. You are now trapped between a rock and a hard place with no resolution available. But Spirit is saying, Cancer, remove the blindfold, free yourself from these self-imposed bindings that are holding you back. Your thoughts and beliefs are no longer serving you. Get out of your head. Let go of those negative thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones, and you will create a more favorable situation for yourself. You just need a new perspective. You already have all the resources you need. You may have thoughts of victim mentality. It's time to take back your power, take back control. Spirit already said this. Take back your personal accountability. You do have choices, even if you don't like them, okay? You may be confused about whether you should stay or go. Again, get out of your head and tune in with your intuition for the answers. Okay? You feel trapped, either unable or unwilling to choose. Therefore, you feel stuck in a painful state. But Cancer, Spirit is saying you are your own worst enemy. Okay? You can change the matters. And then your hopes and fears, what you hope for and fear the most in your situation, is the Page of Cups reversed. This is either you, again, someone in your life, or a situation, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So the Page of Cups, what you hope for and or fearing the most. This is someone who's ignoring their inner voice, someone who's ignoring their inner child. Attention seeking, vindictive, insecure. It's about receiving bad news. Emotionally vulnerable, emotionally immature. There's an imbalance of emotions. You're doubting your intuition. It's a card of jealousy, envy. It could represent canceled social events, canceled engagements, canceled proposals, childhood issues, having a new ideas, being disappointed, being obsessed with the image. The Page of Cups reversed represents someone who is overly sensitive, whose feelings get hurt at a drop of a hat, or a very moody person who has no appropriate outlet for those strong feelings. The Page of Cups shows a fishy situation, something that you should look at carefully. And if this card represents a person in your life, deceit may be involved, flattery for gain, or secrecy in matters of the heart. Someone may be trying to seduce you, and you are blinded to the falseness of their intentions, or you may be playing the role of seducer, toying with someone's emotions. If so, you might get yourself hurt. Be very careful with that. You're keeping your creative inspirations and ideas secret. You may worry others will steal your idea or tell you it's destined to fail. You may feel called to pursue a new creative project, but doubt whether you can really make it work. Your inner critic may be on overdrive, or others are telling you that you are dreaming, so you are stalling and holding back. Again, Spirit is saying, listen to your intuition to understand if fear is getting in the way and whether it's time to just give it a go regardless of the outcome. You might experience a creative block. There's an aspect of yourself that wants to be expressed, but for whatever reason, you're holding back, or you may feel stuck when it comes time to express yourself creatively. You may be encountering a lot of doubt, but just trust it. And don't shoot the messenger. These are all messages from Spirit, not me. Spirit may be saying that you may be a little emotionally immature, dramatic. You may be someone who overshares stuff. You have emotional tantrums. There's an imbalance in emotions here. Someone who doesn't want to grow up, someone who is not grounded in reality. And then your future, if everything is to remain as is, you have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is Virgo energy. This card is all about privilege, affluence, marriage, solid foundations, financial security, settling down, prenups, winning money. It represents legacy, roots, ancestry, a windfall, an inheritance, receiving a lump sum of money. Wealth, tradition, stability is coming up again in your reading. Stability, being conventional, being traditional. Yeah, it's a card of wealth. Celebrate everything you've achieved, Spirit is saying. This card represents a strong, secure foundation, usually based on family ties, whether a home or business. It also deals with legacies received and given. You may either receive a legacy or small winnings to invest for the future, or you may acquire a home or business of your own, creating security for you and your loved ones. Maybe you're investing in the community or some way. This is an excellent card to get for sure. You have reached a point of completion and accomplishment in your journey. And this sense of accomplishment is likely to be the result of a successful career path, smart financial investments, a stable home environment, and a possible committed and long-term relationship. This card promises you that everything will eventually come together and you will be proud of everything you've achieved. You're surrounded by wealth and blessed with financial abundance. You have everything you need, especially within the material realm. You express sincere gratitude for fulfilling your material goals and dreams. This card reflects permanence and creating a lasting foundation for future success. A constant approach will achieve success that will last the test of time. You might feel compelled to share your success with others as well. And family is very important to you. Okay? Your work and planning have paid off, and now you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. You're emphasizing home and family, or you will be. This is your future card. You're planning, you may be, you're emphasizing home and family at this point. Now that you have a secure income to support them, you might be planning on buying a new car or that house that you've always wanted. Family matters are at the forefront, and you have the leisure to concentrate on personal affairs. This card represents a time of financial security too, such as marrying into money or receiving an inheritance. And then the overall energy of your reading is the Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana card, and it came out reversed. So this card is all about control issues. That's what the whole reading, most of your reading is about. Control issues, a lack of control, delays, having no control, or clinging to control. It's unwelcome changes. It's a resistance to change. It's a card that talks about breaking cycles. This card can suggest a temporary setback or even a complete reversal of fortunes in a direction that you didn't desire. It could also warn against the uselessness of flailing in the face of circumstances that you cannot change. But remember your future card, Ten of Pentacles, okay? So the Wheel of Fortune, Spirit is bringing up this control issues for some reason. Bad luck, resistance to change, breaking cycles. Your luck and fortune may have taken a turn for the worse. You may experience unexpected change, or negative forces could be at play, leaving you feel helpless, restricted. We talked about that with the Eight of Swords. But you have a choice, like the Lover's card. You have a choice. You can either do nothing and hope that things will get better, or you can act to improve your situation. Release yourself from these self-inflicted binds. Take control of your destiny and get your life back on track. Changing your destiny starts with accepting responsibility for where you are now. Consider what role your earlier actions have played in your present circumstances. Even when you think everything is beyond your control, there is often something you could have done differently that might have changed where you are now. The Wheel of Fortune reversed can also reflect resistance to change, particularly if you feel it forced upon you. Change has become a source of significant stress, and you may be trying to consciously or subconsciously stop events from running their course. Accept that change is inevitable, and you will have much improved experience when you can go with the flow. You are finally breaking a negative cycle that has been present in your life. Perhaps you have realized how your actions have created a repetitive situation and are now ready to break free from the cycle. For some, this may flow naturally following a period of introspection and self-discovery, and for others, things may need to hit rock bottom before you are ready to see what is no longer serving you. Okay. Yeah, so the Wheel of Fortune coming out in the reverse position again. When a card comes out reversed, Spirit is just giving you extra protection, okay? You may be holding back your own destiny by refusing to make the necessary changes or take the required actions. This is causing stagnation and frustration. You think you're waiting for the right time, but fear of the unknown is blocking you. You may be fantasizing about what you want to do, but you have to take action before anything can happen. You may experience delays because of lack of commitment. Ask the universe to show you the way and fearlessly follow the direction that you are given. Quit being wishy-washy and get on with what you already know you need to do. And then your last message is your animal spirit card, and you got the bear energy. So this is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You're waking up from spiritual slumber. You're beginning anew. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move toward the dawning light. This card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles, but you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes, and the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. When you are in balance, you have a lot of inner strength, which Spirit already talked about. You have a yearning to grow when you are in balance. When you're out of balance, you withdraw. It's a card of withdrawal, lethargy, and heaviness. Those are the energies that you feel. To bring yourself back into balance, you need to movement, whatever kind of movement works for you, some kind of exercise. That's to get your energy back into balance, okay? So that is your reading. If this reading resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, let me know. Thank you for letting me channel these messages today for you, Cancer. I hope you have an awesome birthday or happy belated. I will see you next time. Giving you a big hug. Take care. Bye.